the Highland scribe to the stones, to the winds, to the bloodlines that walk unseen. Come closer, closer still. You see, the fire's warm. But this tale tonight, this tale runs wild. Now, this tale is about a man named Davie Stewart and the Burrow Moon. Now, they still tell it round the campfires when the road gets long and bairns canna sleep. It was the year 1765 when news spread over the land and sea o' the beast o' Javando, a great wolf that tore through the French hills, devouring men, women, and bairns. The settled folk, they shivered at the story, but the travellers, they just nodded. France micht hae its beasts, said Auld Easy, the wise woman, but ours runs deeper. Ours doesna come for the forest. Ours crawls for the very earth itself. The Burrow Moon, she said, rises 3 times in a year. A cruel yellow moon, so it is. It swells fat over the hills when the soil turns soft and hungry. Under its light, the earth opens, and what was buried beneath comes scratching towards the surface. The travellers took heed. You see, they kent things that settled folk didna, or perhaps had long forgotten. They circled their wagons with salt and strung a rowan and a reed thread across their doorways, and burned juniper and lavender to cleanse the air. Auld Easy moved through the camps, muttering charms and the old tongues, making sure every bairn wore talismans of silver and poppy seeds. But the Burrowed Moon, its curse wasna just in the grun itself. You see, its curse lives in the blood. Some are born with a mark, a kind of bluey grey patch at the base of the spine, shaped like a badger's claw. Folk called it the Earth's Kiss. It marked you as one who carried both soil and shadow in your very bones. Those who lived with kindness, well, they would never ken its power. But those who let anger fester, who envied or struck out in wrath, the earth heard their hearts, and when the Burrow Moon rose, it called them home. That autumn, Davie Stewart, a young man o' the travellers, he felt a bit uneasy in himself. You see, he'd been raised on the roads, strong and steady, a born tinker with hands that could mend anything, and a heart that bent towards peace. But this year was different. You see, as the Burrow Moon drew nearer, he felt the land itself whispering to him under his very feet. Every heartbeat came heavier. Every breath brought the scent of wet clay, moss, and something alive. Now on the morning the moon was due to rise, Davie woke sick to his very stomach. The taste o' iron upon his tongue. He watched the elders tie charms to the wagons and the camps, and he listened to Auld Isie's voice trembling as she said her prayers. And by sunset, sure enough, the road was still, silent like, but for the wind. And Davie, he just couldn't sit still. He rose, drawn by something he couldn't quite name. The hills were calling to him like a mother's voice, soft but urgent. He climbed the brae as twilight bled out of the sky, when the Burrow Moon broke through the clouds. It was too big, too bright, the colour of a dying fire. The world below him, it shimmered silver and gold, but the beauty o' it, it set his very teeth on edge. The first thing he noticed was the smell. It was damp fur, rot, and the sharp tang o' something metal. Then came the sound. Scrape, 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 like claws against stone. Davie's blood began to turn cold. He crested the ridge and froze. Below, a small village lay in ruins. Its thatched roofs were burning. Through the smoke moved all these shapes, massive, hunchback beasts with fur banded black and white, their claws as long as dirks, their teeth glinting like blades. He watched on in horror as one tore open a door as if it were paper. Another dragged a body into the dark. All around came that sound. Scrape, growl, crunch. Davie ran. He didn't think. He only knew he had to stop them. As he reached the outskirts, the beasts, well, they turned towards him. They were bigger than any man, maybe 8 feet tall when they rose to their full height. Their spines crackled and stretched and skin splitting till its fur burst through. Their faces were twisting, half man, half badger, with jaws that could crush bone. Each breath steamed in the cold air, heavy with blood and decay. Their eyes glowed yellow, and when they howled, it wasn't a wolf's cry, but a sound for the belly o' the earth. One slammed into him before he could swing a blade. Its claws raked down his back, searing pain flared, and he hit the mud with an almighty thud. The creature leaned in close, breath as foul as the grave itself. Then it stopped. It sniffed and let out a low growl. This can't be. Don beast kens me. No, the beast kent the mark. They didn't kill him. They stepped back and watched him, their eyes never leaving for a second. It felt like forever, although it was only a couple of minutes. And that's when Davie saw her, a wee lassie, maybe only 3-4 year old. Bless her wee heart, she was stumbling between the bodies, crying for her ma. The beasts turned. Davie ran, though every muscle in his body screamed. He scooped the bairn up in his arms, and one lunged. Its claws tore down his back once again, opening him to the bone. He fell to his knees, blood pouring, but with his last strength, he pulled Aldisi's charm pouch for his pocket, the one she said would guard him for any evil, and he shoved it into the beast's mouth. It roared, thrashing, foam and black smoke pouring from its throat as the silver and the herbs burned through it. The others shrieked, clawing at the air as though they could feel the other's pain. Then the night split open with a sound that silenced them all. A howl, long and deep, no for the ground, from the sky. On the ridge above stood a winged creature, vast as a stag, with fur as dark as the night and eyes like the stars above. It threw back its head and it roared. And the were-badgers, they shrieked, digging into the soil as quickly as they could, vanishing into their burrows one by one. Davie fell beside the wee lass, his blood mingling with the ash in the soil. When dawn came, the winged beast was gone, and the glen was silent, save for the whisper of the craws. Davie carried the bairn back to the camp, collapsing at the fireside. Now, the travellers took the bairn in. They fed her, they clothed her, and she grew up as one of them. You see, she had nobody left. She became a daughter of the road. When Davie healed, Aldisi sat beside him. Her eyes were weary, but they were kind. "You were born with a mark, laddie," she said, "but the curse couldna claim you, you see, because you dinna live in rage and anger. The earth kent your heart. It kent you'd protect and no destroy. That's why they left you alive." She paused, glancing at the hills beyond. "They'll rise again, mind you. Every Burrow Moon, the ground'll stir, so keep your herbs close and keep your fires lit. And if you hear scratching in the dark, dinna think it's the wind. The French, they hae their beast, but we hae the were-badgers o' the Burrow Moon." To this day, among the travellers, in my line at least, when the moon swells yellow and the soil goes on soft way, we still hang rowan and reed threed above our doors. We carry them with us, talismans and charms. We still scatter salt and burn lavender. And if a bairn is born with a strange bluey-grey mark, the old ones, they keep quiet, but they watch closely, because the curse is never gone, only sleeping. And when the Burrow Moon rises, the earth, she listens once more. I am the Highland scribe to the stones, to the winds, to the bloodlines that walk unseen. And until the fire lights again, sleep tight, wanderers.